Welcome Endurance Matters athletes. This video will show you how to do bodyweight circuit number 1 in real time. This routine is focused on actually building strength as opposed to preventative maintenance like your SAM routine, though strength work as a whole goes hand in hand with injury prevention. This routine should take you 5 to 10 minutes depending on how many sets and reps you're doing. You'll also still do your choice of SAM 1 through 3 immediately after this circuit. It may make your SAM a little more challenging. So let's get started. First we have push-ups. Think of push-ups just like a plank. Place your hands just outside of shoulder width, contract your abs so that your belly button is headed towards your spine. Maintain that plank as you lower yourself to the ground with your arms. Keep your elbows close to your body instead of out wide. Your arms should look like they do when you're running, swinging at your side. You can modify this movement and make it easier by dropping to your knees or removing some weight to remove some weight for your upper body. But overall, I think a lot of people know what push-ups are. My main critique is that you keep those elbows close because we're trying to reenact a movement of running. This next exercise should be familiar. It's the gorilla lunge, the same exercise from your warm-up. But we are adding more reps and it's post-run, so they should feel like a strength work instead of a warm-up now. Some things to remember: breathe. Breathe in through your nose, into your back, and as you take that big step. Exhale and contract those abs as you drive through your heel using the glutes and hamstrings to drive you into the next step. Try to keep your lower leg perpendicular to the ground and your thigh parallel. This will prevent you from performing bad habits such as making this a quad dominant exercise by letting that knee drift forward in front of your toe. Again, you can do these standing in place, but do them reverse, or you can do them walking. Also from your warm-up routine are good mornings. Remember to keep a slight bend in the knee, maintain that relaxed back, lean forward until you feel a stretch in your hamstring, pause for just a moment, then dip and pull yourself up using your glutes and hamstrings. Remember, keep your core tight throughout the movement. Keep that belly button to your spine. Feel that full foot as well. Don't drift more onto your toes. Make sure you can feel that heel on the ground. That's going to really help you engage those glutes and hamstrings through this movement. Again, we're trying to avoid being quad dominant here because that's something that runners have a lot of, and we really want to activate those glutes and hamstrings. Remember, you can do this movement walking and alternating your feet. You can also do it standing in place, as I'm doing now in the video. Or if you have some balance issues, you can modify them to the two-legged version. This is like the beginner's version of good mornings. So ultimately, I want to get you doing single-legged good mornings. But if you need to for balance reasons, go ahead and do them as I'm performing here. 2 legs hip-width distance apart. Again, same idea. Dip until you feel a stretch, and then pause and dip and pull yourself back up. Next up is bodyweight squats. For this movement, keep your feet hip-width distance apart. Use your arms as a counterbalance, and as you start this movement from the hips. Pretend there's a stool or a bench behind you, and you're going to go sit in it. Get as low as you can without letting your heels come off the ground or your feet turn out. That may not be as low as I get in the video, but that's okay. From the side, you'll see my knees do not go way out in front of my toes. That will make this a quad dominant movement, again, something runners are trying to avoid. Lastly, I emphasize how the knee should be tracked, and that is outward. Never let your knees come in towards your midline during this movement. This helps to make the exercise more glute dominant, something runners want. Next up is the glute bridge. For the glute bridge, lay down on your back and bend your knees so that your heels are just below your butt and about hip-width distance apart. Take a deep breath through your nose and expand your back into the floor. Make that back flat on the ground. Then maintain that flat back as you exhale and contract your abs. Now with your abs engaged, you can bridge your body up using the glutes and hamstrings. Keep that core tight as if you were doing a plank. Do this movement slow and controlled. You should feel your glutes and hamstrings doing most of the work, but the core is secretly the most important part. Lastly, we have the gorilla shuffle, again from your warm-up. Remember, we maintain that same relaxed back. Start by getting into a deep squat position with your thighs parallel to the ground. Make sure you can feel some weight in your heels. Relax the back and let your arms hang between your feet. Shuffle one step with each foot for one inhale, expanding your back. The exhale focusing on contracting the abdomen on the next shuffle. So always feel like that belly button is going towards the spine on that exhale. So follow along here to see how you can time the breaths. It's inhale, 2, exhale, 2. Inhale, 2, exhale, 2. So you can see how that breathing works with the steps that you're doing. So inhale, exhale is 1 rep. So that was bodyweight circuit number 1. And what you need to know about this is you will do this only on your hard days. So intervals, tempos, long runs, those days. You'll also do a SAM routine immediately after this. And you should start with 8 to 10 reps, 2 sets of, and then progress yourself so that you can do 3 sets of 15 of these. When you can do 3 sets of 15 and not feel so sore out the next day, that's when you're ready to progress to bodyweight circuit number 2. Hope this was helpful.